Hey everybody, welcome back. It's week 2 on weight loss coaching basics. And I want to call this video your brain versus reality. And I love this idea because here's the thing. You know, we have the world as we experience it, and then we have the interpretation of the world as we experience. And I want to talk about the difference between the two this week. This whole series on weight loss coaching basics is 100% to try to give you a little bit of a sense of, well, what is coaching for? What is it? Why do people do that? Why not just sign up for a program like Noom or do Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or do the keto diet or whatever it is? Why is this different? And it's different in a lot of ways, but I wanted to give you a sense of the coaching part. Certainly when I work with my clients, I help people figure out what their eating plan needs to be. There are some people who need a certain style of eating that will serve their bodies better than another. And because of medical situations sometimes. And sometimes, you know what? I've said before and I'll say it again, it's not the food. It's not the food. You can choose any diet. I lost weight. We talked about this in the last series. I lost weight and I ate chicken wings and pizza and do whatever you want, and we can figure out that plan and lose weight on it. If people need extra specialized sort of help, I did holistic nutrition training for a reason. I have a ridiculous amount of resources to help direct, but the key in all of it is mindset. So I want to talk about this mindset thing today. And, to me, it's really fascinating to watch the brain work. Mostly because we don't. Mostly we ignore our brains. And when we do that, our brain just goes, okay, I guess I'm in charge. And let me say, your brain is an incredible secretary. Keeps great records, files, notes, remind you of all kinds of things that have happened in the past that you need to remember. And don't you know that when such and such happened last time, that this and that, and don't do that, and your brain keeps you safe, keeps you from stepping in front of a bus, walking into the street, not looking both ways, all kinds of stuff. Your brain is a great secretary. However, your brain is an awful manager. And that is where you step in. So becoming the manager of your mind, becoming the mother of your mind for women. I mean, I know sometimes we have some gentlemen who join us for these videos, and I think that's great. Welcome. But so when I use the term mother of your mind, guys, you can use father of your mind. It is our job to manage our thinking, because if we don't, then our brains have to get into a place of not only offering information, but then making decisions on the information. Now that needs to be our job. Here's what makes the difference. We all live with a series of circumstances or facts in our lives. For example, if you went outside of my house today, because it is knocking on summertime here in Georgia, you would notice that it is approximately 75 degrees. Now, if I got a thermometer and I measure it and I say, it's 73 degrees outside right now, that would be fact. You could come and look at the same thermometer, thermostat, whatever, and look at it and say, indeed, it is 73 degrees. That's fact. That's not something that we can discuss and argue about and say, well, it might be, or it could be. No, the number says 73 degrees. Okay, done. Another way to look at it is it's something that you could put up in a court of law. Now, I know you can argue about whether everything that's brought into the courtroom is truth, but you get what I'm saying. It's not really, it's the question of fact versus opinion. So what we could discuss about the weather is it hot or not? I could say, whew, it is just uncomfortable out here. It is humid and I know it's going to be hot later today and I already feel hot and you might be from somewhere a little bit closer to the equator than Georgia. And you might say, this is like when I lived in Tanzania for a summer, when I lived in East Africa, 73 was cool. It was not particularly hot. So there was a difference of opinion there. That's the difference between fact and opinion, or circumstance and thought. Where is the power in this situation? In your thought. Let me make it personal as far as weight loss is concerned. You step on the scale and the scale says 215 pounds. I could come look at your scale and see, indeed, it says 215 pounds. It's just a number. It is a reflection of the gravitational pull of your body on the scale. Period. On the earth. Done. That's it. Now, here's what actually happens. You step on the scale and you see the number, and then you have a thought. Or maybe it's a series of thoughts. And the thought may go something like this. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe, I've never weighed, even when I was pregnant, I didn't weigh this much. I cannot believe this has gotten to this point. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I better do something, and I better do it fast, because I can't fit in my clothes. This is a disaster. You see, all of those, every single one of those is a thought. Now, you might go, but it's true. It is a mess. I was never this heavy, and I can't fit in my clothes. And that's how you're choosing to interpret that number on the scale, that 215. That's how you're choosing to interpret it. On the other hand, and here's how I know it's a thought. Let's say that a year ago, you were 300 pounds. And now you step on the scale and you are 215 pounds. Your thoughts might go something like this. Oh my gosh, I am a rock star. I have lost 85 pounds. This is incredible. I never in my life, I lost almost a whole human. Look at me. Like, you might be celebrating this 215 as opposed to flogging yourself and chastising yourself and beating yourself down over 215. Same number. It's a matter of looking at it. It's a matter of the thoughts that are going through your head. Now, if your thoughts are, I can't believe I've done all this work. I've done so good. I'm going to be able to do this. I can keep going. Guess what that person is going to do? Continue to lose weight. The person who goes, this is a disaster. I can't believe this has happened. I don't know what to do. This is horrible. Maybe I'm just going to be fat and miserable my whole life. Now, fat, I don't mean that in any sort of a negative connotation. You can be whatever number you want. But the point is, if you're trying to lose and you want to lose, if you're happy at the number you're at, you're probably not watching these videos. However, if you're happy where you're at, I'm all for it. But if you want to change it, you're probably not going to change it from a place of hating and beating yourself up over it. Because eventually your brain will rebel and say, I don't want to be talked to like that. And it will quit and offer you a cookie or a soda or whatever it is that you go to when you are throwing in the towel. So all that being said is it's really, really important to watch your brain, because sometimes the thinking that's going through there is super not helpful, and it's actually sabotaging your efforts and your plans. So this week, last week we worked on developing awareness, just paying attention to the thoughts, just listening to the brain as it offers up the thoughts. This week, I want you to start asking yourself, being a little bit more critically, a critical eye towards some of the thinking, and not a negative critical eye, just evaluating. The thoughts that you're catching, are they fact or are they thought? If you want to really get a sense, write it down. I don't care if you put it on a notes app and type it out or write it in by hand. It doesn't matter. Just write down everything you're thinking about. Set a timer, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't have to take long. Write it all down and then go through sentence by sentence. It could be a list. You don't even need to write a paragraph. This is not prose. We're not, turning in a paper here. Just write everything down that you think. Go through one by one and see how many of them are thought and how many of them are fact. And I can almost guarantee you the vast majority of them are going to be thought, not fact. And here's why. The way you know for sure is ask yourself if it's true. Look at the sentence and ask if it's true. Ask if anybody in the world would think it was true. And if everybody in the world wouldn't agree 100%, like a number on a scale, then you know it's a thought. And that, my friend, is where the power is, because the thought you have control over. You might not feel like it right now, but that's what coaches do. We help you manage those thoughts. And then you get what you want out of your brain. So all that being said, I'm thrilled that you are here. Again, if you didn't subscribe, please do. Hit your notifications. Don't miss any of these episodes. And I will see you next week. And we're going to keep going with weight loss coaching basics. I'll see you then. Bye.